I don't have everything I want. I'm not exactly where I dream to be yet, but I'm choosing to be happy now. The timing will never be right, so I'm not waiting for permission. No more, if I get this, then I'll be happy. I have enough to work with in my present to choose to be happy. The conditions will never be perfect. At least one thing is always bound to go wrong at any point. And as hopeless as that seems, I find it freeing. Knowing human perfection is an impossible illusion frees me to be happy. There's this temptation to wait for the perfect opportunity, the dream job, the grand achievement, the big break, the best of friends, the dream girl. Before you could ever truly feel deeply happy. It's so easy to yearn for the cinematic climax of an ending and forget that life is longer, richer, and infinitely more complex than a few hours sat in a dark room experiencing a condensed, intricately crafted journey. What I've found so far in my years of living is, yes, it's true, these big wins, these major events, they do bring joy, they do bring happiness, but they're few and far between by nature of being major events and big wins. They take a lot of time, effort, patience. I found it vital to remember how much the little things matter too. The perfectly cooked egg for breakfast, taking a detour to enjoy the sunset, that pause to breathe. In between these big wins, there are small ones to be found. A cold glass of ice water, coffee made just right, the smell of rain, the night breeze, a hug from a loved one, or a compliment from a stranger. In aiming for what seems larger than life, it's important not to forget to count the little things too. They say the grass is always greener, and maybe it is. But it's been important for me to pause and realize that for as much as happiness can be found on the other side, it can also be found right here, where I am now, with what I already have. The journey in the space between the big life-changing events, I view it as a literal one. In every journey, you can't just walk, let alone sprint the whole way through without stopping, or drive thousands of miles without refueling. There needs to be time to stop and rest, to breathe. And rest isn't even the only thing. You need to refresh and replenish yourself too. What is the body if not hydrated, fed, and cared for? I had to learn the hard way. Chasing and rushing for the next best thing will only bring you misery. It will leave you exhausted and unsatisfied regardless of how far you go or what you gain. You lose track of what really matters because you're in such a frenzy, putting pressure on yourself, putting pressure on the things and the people that you chase. And you lose out on so much that probably would have worked out had you just been more steady and patient. As exciting as the end destination is, there's moments along the way that could make the journey worthwhile on its own. To appreciate the sheer fact that you get to go on a journey to begin with. If you allow yourself to pay mind, if you give yourself even a sliver of time to pay attention to how the wind feels, to how the trees move, how the sunlight passes through the leaves, or the beauty of the lights in the city and the intricate architecture of the buildings you walk past every day. There's always a new angle to see things. Along the way, there will be these gems that you will find beyond just your expectations of the end goal. Strangers that become friends, small moments that become core memories, experiences that become life-changing lessons, and places that become pockets of home. Things you otherwise wouldn't have had or seen. People you otherwise wouldn't have met or kept. But none of these things would even be half as fulfilling if I don't make the choice to allow myself to be happy now. My journey could still be all the same. I could still be blessed with the same gifts, the same people, the same experiences and lessons, and go to the exact same places. But if I don't make the active choice to pay attention, to appreciate, to allow myself to feel good, then regardless of how good things get, it will never be enough. So, while I don't have everything I want as of now, I have enough. And I'm grateful every day. The things I get to have now, with the freedom I'm granted now, with the life I get to live, the people, the friends, the family that I get to love, that I experience love from. These are riches, privileges, luxuries, all on their own. So, while I'm not exactly where I hope to be yet, I know this is where I need to be to get there. I will choose to continue to choose to be happy now. My circumstances aren't perfect. I'm not perfect. And that's the perfect place to be. Because knowing that makes me free. And with that freedom, I choose to allow myself to be happy now.